there was this kid, before I knew his name now, this kid was sitting under our tent at track. We asked him to move. He started getting aggressive and talking reckless. And my brother stepped in and said, "You need to move." And he's like, "Make me move." Also grabbed his backpack. The kid, I tried to whip around as fast as I could, but I didn't see the stab. But then I look at my brother, and then I'm not gonna talk about the rest. So just that's just what I saw. And I tried to help him, but
it was just senseless.
It was really senseless. Really, I don't know why a person would do that to someone just over that little argument. It's just crazy in this world nowadays how people just up and do that. Like a man has a family. That man has people that care about them all the time, and he did everything for our family too. He was a strong man. He was a strong kid.
They grabbed this man and they tried to punch on dude. Dude went in his bag, and they went to try to jump this dude and punch on this dude, man. Yeah, it wasn't just one. It was both of them, bro. Austin, that dude that got unalive, and his brother.
I asked the lawyer himself, are there circumstances where being grabbed, in any scenario, like you can imagine one, where lethal force would be justifiable self-defense?
Absolutely. I mean, everyone's asking the wrong question or answering the wrong question. The question again is, did you have a reasonable perception that you were facing an imminent threat of unlawful deadly force harm? If the answer to that is yes, you can use deadly force in self-defense, and there's an infinite number of ways that can happen. If someone just grabs you, are they grabbing you and they have a knife in their other hand? Because that's going to be a bad day for you. Are they grabbing you and they're 200 pounds heavier than you? Bad day for you. That could well be a deadly force threat.
What if they grab you and there's 5 guys all around you?
Sure, then there's a disparity of numbers.
The Karmelo Anthony trial is about to start, and they already in the jury selection phase, and the country is divided because nobody knows the full story. But we got an eyewitness report from a person that been there and seen it all that I'm about to get to in a second. But for those of you that's not familiar with the case, here's the breakdown as far as we know from the media. Now, on April the 2nd, 2025, Austin and Karmelo was at a track meet in Frisco, Texas. It started raining, and Karmelo, like many other runners, went under a tent to get out the rain. An altercation broke out, and Austin ended up being stabbed. He was rushed to the hospital where he later passed away. Now, police say Karmelo admitted to stabbing Austin, but claim he did it in self-defense. His bond was originally set at $1 million, but because he had no prior record and people spoke in his behalf, it was reduced to $250K.
My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because she's fearful of what might happen to her. And let me be clear, the claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false.
The disinformation that was put out was literally deliberate to prevent you from helping this family.
Now, Karmelo parents have held press conferences saying that people are trying and threatening to unalive him. And there has been a lot of online tension surrounding this case. Because of that, the judge set strict rules, no recording in the courtroom and no protesting outside to keep the chaos down. Now, what the media isn't telling us that Karmelo wasn't just hanging around looking for trouble. He was actually on the track roster and was set to run a 100 and 400 meter that day. But when the rain hit, he went under the tent like everyone else. That's when he was approached by the twins. Now, what's confusing is why they felt the need to single him out and put their hands on him. We all heard the generic version where the twins came to the tent after he went in and told him to leave, and Karmelo supposedly said, "No, touch me and see what happened." But I'm being told that's not exactly what happened. And honestly, no student has the right to remove another student from a school-owned tent. So right is right and wrong is wrong. But before I looked deep in the case, I heard that Karmelo was a gun-toting thug with no remorse for human life. I didn't know if he was Lala's son or what. You know what I'm saying? A hooper, Karmelo? I didn't know who he was because at the time, the media already dehumanized him.
Front is here in Frisco, Texas, because a young man was murdered just days ago for no other reason than that his attacker was a savage, incompatible with civilized society.
But in reality, Karmelo Anthony attended Frisco Centennial High School with a 3.7 GPA. He was also the captain of both the football and the track team. Outside of school, he worked for a Foot Locker for 2 years and a H-E-B supermarket chain. And he also grew up in a loving two-parent household and had no criminal record before this incident. But no matter how you look at it, a life was lost and nobody deserved to lose their life, and it was tragic. But what is also tragic is the way that the media tried to spin this narrative to fit their own selfish agendas. Now, according to the police report, Karmelo was sitting under a tent talking to his friend from Memorial High School, the same high school that Austin attended. That's when the Metcalf twins approached Karmelo and told him he needed to get from under the tent, trying to bully him. Karmelo grabbed his bag and reached inside it and proceeded to tell Austin, "Touch me and see what happened." Now, me personally, if I approached someone I didn't know on some bullshit and they gave me a fair warning with their hand in the bag saying, "Touch me and see what happened," my situational awareness would have told me to leave them the fuck alone, you hear me? Because obviously he ain't playing, and I ain't about to find out what he got concealed in that bag for his protection, but that's me personally. But Austin, he did the opposite and proceeded to touch Karmelo anyway. Now pay attention, because this is the part that most media outlets are missing, and I feel it'll play a crucial part in this case. Now it's pouring down raining. Karmelo happens to see one of his friends and takes shelter under a tent, okay? The Twin Towers approach him and basically tell him he don't belong there. Then Karmelo tell Austin, the aggressor, "Touch me and see what happened to you." Austin then touches Karmelo. At this point, the brothers got him surrounded and was evading his space, but instead of acting, Karmelo said, "If you punch me, see what happened." So then Austin Metcalf proceeded to grab Karmelo. Reminds you, Austin and his brother were 6 foot something, 200 something pounds. So when Austin went to grab him, Karmelo poked him once and got himself up out of there and fled to safety. This is in an arrest report. So please let me know in the comments, do you guys feel that this is truly self-defense? And I really want y'all to let me know how y'all feel in the comments about this, because just a few weeks ago it was...
More details into what happened outside of that Montgomery County courthouse on Wednesday. Officers noted that they watched surveillance video, and in that video, they saw that this started out as a verbal fight that Etherly turned toward Fox and then reached for his firearm, and then a physical fight ensued. Etherly, according to this affidavit, then shot Fox multiple times.
We all have freedom of speech, but if you touch me, that's where I draw the line and I can exert deadly force. Now this week is, you can't exert deadly force and defend yourself after somebody touched you, you fucking idiot. So I'm confused, like what are we doing?
It's white people's George Floyd, by the way. Austin Metcalf is white people's George Floyd. He really died of a fentanyl overdose because the autopsy said fentanyl in the system. Steroid use. He was just cycling off because he's off of football, but during football season, Austin is steroid nut buddies. His dad said they excelled in every sport. So with their physical abilities and capabilities and strength, based on what they teach you, license to carry classes, the CATL gun classes, anybody bigger than you, you can boom, 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 boom. Body size is a form of a weapon under the law. They were two extremely big guys. They're two bigger guys who are trained and skilled in mixed martial arts jiu-jitsu that can severely hurt you and kill. Steroids, fentanyl, anger issues, abusive dad. You bring that trauma to school with you. You take it out on the football field, but you have a reputation of bullying people from, I think, about the 4th grade, these Austin twin brothers. So you can't just fight one, you have to fight two. That's why this is a package deal. So 2 men approach you, bigger than size. You mean to tell me you don't have the right to defend yourself? This is a George Floyd. The autopsy said he has fentanyl in the system. So another lie that they said, he brought the knife to school. He didn't have a knife. He had a Boy Scout tool. What's on that tool? They have 12 different components. You lift this one up, it may be a bottle opener. Lift this one up, it may be a screwdriver. And they're about this small. They're smaller than 3 inches. It was so small, you don't even see it when they take the picture next to the body, because it laid next to the body right by the backpack. Sarah Fields. Oh,
I want to make this very clear. This is not a race issue. This is not a black and white issue. I don't want someone stepping up on a soapbox trying to politicize this. I don't appreciate some of the remarks I've seen online that people say there was this fight and they don't know. They weren't there. I know the truth. So, unless you were there, unless you saw it, don't spread gossip.
Just to ask you this one question, like I had mentioned, the self-defense argument made by the suspect. What's your reaction to that if that's used in court or used?
As a defense attorney, they're going to try every avenue. That's their job. The truth will come out. There were too many people that were there that saw what happened. My own son told me what happened. There was never a punch even thrown. So I don't care. There was never a phone broken. We've never had contact with this individual ever. So unless you were there, I don't appreciate all the gossip and all the mistruths that people are speaking at this moment.
Is that shocking to hear or read, or at least hear from me, say that that's what he told police after that moment?
No, what do you expect? If you're caught, the best thing you're gonna do is try to lie your way out of it. Now, I'm not saying he's a liar, but the truth and the facts, justice will prevail.
But wait, that's not it. An eyewitness spoke about the incident on social media. Someone who didn't even know either party, and this is what he had to say.
They got rained out like crazy bad. Everybody trying to get back to their cars or get in, places where they, wouldn't get all extra wet. Dude was sitting up on the tent, right? He was on his phone, right? My daughters was up under the same goddamn tent. Yeah. So I'm paying attention to my kids, but at the same time, they're in the same vicinity, so I'm watching everything going on around it, because I'm there for my children. So dude walks up, McKellen, bro, he wasn't even under the tent at the time. They came from a whole separate tent and walked over there. They intentionally went over there to this kid, man. Dude was sitting there on his phone just trying to get dry, you feel me? One thing went from another. They grabbed this man and they tried to punch on dude. Dude went in his bag and whatever, they went to try to jump this dude and punch on this dude, man. And he protected himself, dude. That's what happened. Yeah, it wasn't just one, it was both of them, bro. Austin, that dude that got unalive, and his brother physically went over there to intentionally. It's not to the point that he brought a knife. For one, it wasn't on school property. The school is at least 5 to 10 miles away. It was community track meet, bruh. It wasn't a school track meet. So he had the right to have a knife on his person, bro.
And before y'all jump in the comments, yes, I heard people saying it was illegal for Karmelo to even have a knife. But according to Texas law, that's not actually true. Now, with that in mind, let me know how y'all feel about this situation in the comments. Do you feel Karmelo Anthony was in the wrong for defending himself? And do you think it was self-defense or murder in the first degree? I'm really trying to see where everybody stand with this here. Attorney Bruce Rivers would also chime in on the situation. Let's listen to what he got to say.
Karmelo Anthony he wasn't the aggressor in that. I mean, they were trying to get him out of a particular area. And it was, how fucking dumb was that? He was just sitting in the stands, I
want to take the time to apologize to Karmelo Anthony's family. Man, I was all the way wrong about that kid. I was all the way wrong about that kid.
Yeah, he was just indicted.
I was all the way wrong about that kid. I met with his father. I've been meeting with his father regularly. And I had opportunity to talk, piece him up. He go beat these charges. I was under the impression that he brought a knife to school. So I'm taking a knife to school. Fuck him. He didn't take a knife to school. He didn't even know these two white boys. These two white boys just came over there with because he was with another kid that knew those white boys. So he a new black kid who these big old white boys, big white boys. He a small frame kid. One of the white boys was on that side, one of the white boys on that side. So either way go, they had him blocked in. And these some big white boys. These are some big, violent, aggressive white boys who got guns. And not only that, the one he killed whooped their daddy. See, the daddy coming into the picture playing like he been around. The dad ain't been around. We would think the black dad ain't around. The white dad ain't around. The mother don't even identify the daddy as the husband. So he must have been an abusive father. He ain't even been in their life. So he just coming and getting the light. He just coming and getting the light. So he a low down dirty. His sons are bullies. They bullying on the kid. No, cause he black. Get from up under the tent. Man, y'all tripping. I ain't going nowhere. And they got a reputation of beating up people. The one he had to stab, he broke his daddy's ligaments. Big old strong. He should have killed both of them. He should have killed both them pepper wolves. With a that's minding his motherfucking business. That don't bring harm to nobody. This kid ain't a bad kid. These bully white boys just fucking with the black baby. So now they trying to make it about race. No, it ain't about race. Justice was served when he killed that. Self-defense. And the reason I say that is, anybody can go see the video. Why do you think the media outlets ain't promoting to go see this video? You can go up to the school and see it. And if you go up to the school and see it, we all to see this kid will be found not guilty. But because it's in an all-white town in Ville, and they done made it about race, whoever you're a rotten motherfucker. And if I just had some time, I would put an army behind this family, but I ain't got time. It's supposed to be an army because Fields and the father and somebody who works for the court have been releasing Karmelo Anthony's family information. She's been putting it online, and the white folk been going, so they've been having to move. All those lies made up, homie, they can't even get the GoFundMe money. So they hadn't even got, they can't even touch the Go. So they just trying to smear campaign, but that's what the do. Boy, I wish I could go back to when I was saying the type of shit. Boy, I wish they could have caught me 3 years ago when I was really on my let's go get the shit. But homie, I wish I ain't got that spirit no more. So I'm saying, why black people ain't rallying around this family as they tried to rally around in the beginning? They are threatening this family. Homie, they keep having to move.
But how do you don't just lose the spirit, bro? It's either you got it or you
No, you do lose it. You do lose it.
So you sold out?
No. You lose it.